I don't really make videos anymore just because I'm busy, I guess. Cool. So today I got new ATCF, which I got that really awesome clip scuff. Carry and use my knives. So if you guys are ever buying knives from me, if you think they're always pocket carried, and just I usually have them factory spot and whatnot. But I try to keep my knives in good condition. But this one's a keeper anyway. That is cardboard from whatever the thing I cut last month. Yeah, so it's CF on TI bolsters. One thing that Bob does almost better than any other maker I know is bolster work, which I wouldn't really take lightly, because if he has respect to just something melding something like CF and TI together, picture all the surfaces that we can't see on the rest of the knife. I mean, so the blade is polished, which is awesome, but because it has that tang in the back, the lock bar actuation is gonna feel really, really good. If you can hear, there's no scraping sounds. Only two knives I know that have that are Sedenza and Chris Reeve. For me, my Mayos tend to have they don't really click, but there's just, you can feel tension, which is good, because I think that's another way of achieving perfection as well. But yeah, with this, I had one that slipped out on me, and I understand why, because if that lock bar surfacing and angle cut is not perfect, it's never going to work. So yeah, I really do love the action. It's not Mayo smooth. There's a little, that's my jacket sound, but it's not Mayo smooth, but between those two makers, I can't really decide which one I like more, because Bob's designs are, honestly, they speak to me in ways I can't really explain. Just really smooth, and not a bad way to spend like $800, in my opinion. I have the trad grind, which is 1, 2, and then there's one in the middle. Pretty sick grind. I got the Fuller. I actually regret not going all the way with this. This wasn't a cheap knife, but then again, this may be the only knife I ever had Bob actually make for me. So I should have went really, really, really big, because it's actually one of my favorite knives of all time. That and the Dr. Death, but I mean, the Dr. Death you can only get so fancy. I should have went, Ironwood Damascus, or, Stag, Mokutai. Just something really, really expensive and really gaudy, just for the hell of it. And, if I gotta pay for it down the line, then whatever. But yeah, it's a good knife. It cuts really well. I find that, for pretend tactical use, it's pretty good. It naturally points, hand here, and then it just points forward. But then, I can cut steak and do other stuff with it. I don't really work for a living, labor-wise, so I don't really find a need for a pocket knife in my day-to-day use. It's just a hobby of mine. Highlight of the day, though, is actually, so I talk about Terzuola and I talk about Mayos a lot. The third maker that I follow that I hold just as highly is John W. Smith. This, probably one of the best finished knives I've ever owned. I've had a few of his other quote-unquote tacticals before, but I ordered kind of a dressier configuration for a friend. This is not my knife, but I did pick it out for him. And yeah, that's ironwood in the highest grade he could find, and on titanium bolster. So, I mean, it's really not too far from a tactical, but, I mean, just the extra attention to detail, like that hand rub, you just don't really get on other knives, especially for this price. This was $6. We ordered it from Les Robertson, who is a good friend of mine, and he does amazing business, and he's very good with timetables, and he just gets things done. Like, I could hand that guy $10,000 to invest in knives, and he'd hook me up. Not that I have that much. Anyway, but yeah, the backspacer is wood. I don't know if that's ironwood, because I'm not very good with wood. It looks like not. again, when I said surface finishing, it's very important that they try on the areas that are not important because it really shows you how much more effort they do on the essential parts. So there's no seam. I could be blind and not know that there were separate layers here. That's usually good. Again, dovetailed liners. Instead of blending it though, because of the high polish, he just kind of, let me focus. He just kind of stepped it into the knife. Centering is dead on. I mean, that's such a useless. I never really care if my knives are centered or not. The thumb stud is hand finished as well. Um, yeah, it's just a superb knife. Action's really smooth. Up there with the best. And those are really my top three makers. Sorry, my Dr. Death isn't here. But yeah, there's no lock bar sound. It's a very elegant knife. I mean, it cuts really well. It's very sharp. I don't know if you could see, but I cut clean through 2 layers of paper, and I just with these kind of knives, I just like poking stuff. So I mean, that's pretty awesome, right? I mean, I could eat with this. I could do box cutting. The blade's so thin to where any cutting task is just a joke for it. But yeah, it's very elegant, and it's pretty dope. I can't really say more. So shout out to Les Robertson for hooking me up with actually both of these. I wouldn't have both of these if it weren't for the guy. This guy doesn't even make knives for people anymore. Well, he does. His list is opening up, but more or less, you got to go see him at a show. And I ain't paying $200 for tickets to go see a guy and maybe get a knife. And this guy's list is closed as well. So I mean, kudos. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys later. I gotta get a tripod, Jesus.